Hey, it's Steve Anderson and
Pam Peterson.
from Total Patient Service and from the Crown Council. We just wanted to take a minute to explain your practice fee analysis. So the expert here is going to walk you through exactly how to use it and how to compare your fees with the fees on your report and then what to do. So I'm going to share my screen here real quick and we'll walk through the exact steps of what to do. So your dental fee analysis, you should have received the Excel file that has the analysis based on your zip code. We'll refer to that in just a minute. So first off, before we get into it, one of the most frequently asked questions that we get is where does the information come from that you'll see in your report for your zip code? Pam?
Okay, you'll see the initials NDA. It's National Dental Service. And what they do is they collect fees from third parties, which is insurance companies, all throughout the year, including your UCR fees. And they compile it and put it together based on demographics, which makes it really easy for you to focus on your market. So that's where we get it.
Perfect. All right, so what's the easiest way to compare? We're going to walk you through several steps here so you know exactly what to do to expedite the process and make this work. So, Pam, here we go. Step number one.
All right, so step number one, download your practice fee schedule. And the best place to do that is download it and save it on your desktop because you're going to use it as a working document.
Okay. Step number two.
Step number two, you've received the analysis report, so download that as well on your desktop. You're going to work on both documents together, so it's important to have them both where it's easily to access.
Side by side.
Side by side.
Very good. So this is an example of what you'll see when you open your practice fee analysis. So this is an Excel file. Yeah. It's got a ton of data on it. Yeah. Pam, why don't you explain the S columns over here as well as the F columns so everybody knows what those are.
All right. So when you see this, you're going to go, whoa, what is all of this? We will not be working with all of the columns. So when you see S1, S2, S3, S4, and 5, we are going to be working with S1. That's where we're going to download, copy and paste your fee schedule in S1. Now, there are some Excel gurus that will hide the cells. Just ignore them, and you feel free to hide the cells as well, but the only cell we're going to work from is S1. When you see S1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, ignore 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Perfect. Okay. Now, the other columns we'll talk about in just a minute where it says P40, P50. We'll talk about those. Those are some comparative fees. We'll explain that. And then the last over here, the notes are just an explanation of what the fees are. So over the code is. So the code column, that's the dental fee code right there. Short description of what the code is, and you can expand that so you can see exactly what it is if you're not familiar with it. So next step.
All right, so there are some codes, and I know you've heard this term, frequently used codes. There are codes that all of us will use, which are your standard dental codes. There's also a phrase that you may not have heard. It's frequently used standard of care codes. Those are the codes that your doctor and your hygienist will use based on their expertise. And an example would be if you place implants or if you do modular therapy, which is a hygiene program, those are codes that you would highlight as well. So look at your fee schedule, open it up, it's on your desktop, and you're going to copy the entire column of your fees and you're going to paste it in S1 on the fee schedule that we set. So it's copy and paste, not cut and paste.
All right, so this is an example. If you see in here, we've just, Pam's copied and pasted a set of fees from a practice management software.
Just random, just an example.
So there you have the office codes. And then what you can do is you can compare the current code in your practice with what percentile it falls in generally in your market. So
let me throw one thing in here, Steve. Before you go that step, make sure you complete the copy and paste.
Yes.
Because you'll get excited just like I do. You'll want to go ahead and compare. If you begin comparing, you'll never get this completed. So copy and paste all of the fees, and then the next step will be, you'll see over 700 codes, and we're not going to go over all 700 codes. So copy and paste, place all the codes on there, and then we're going to talk about what Steve just mentioned, which is how to compare and where your fee schedule should be compared against as far as what percentile.
Perfect. So as an example, we get asked that a lot. How should we compare? Where should we be? Our recommendation is that your fee should be in the 80th percentile. So P40 means 40th percentile, 50th percentile, 60th percentile, 70th percentile, 80th percentile, and then it goes up to 90 and 95. Now you can choose whichever percentile you want to be in. Our typical recommendation for most practices is you want to be at or around 80% for your usual and customary fee. So you'll just compare, in our previous example, you'll compare your fee right here in the column where you did the copy and paste, and then you'll compare where it falls, which percentile it falls. And then the goal would be to adjust your fees accordingly. Now, each fee is going to land someplace different. So you may have some that are low, you may have some that are high, but it goes just goes fee by fee. So that kind of brings up the next question, which is which codes are the most important? If you go through there, there's so many fees. So if you're going to focus on what really matters, here's the most important codes. Here we go.
X-rays, exams, crowns, buildups, implants, and preventive, all things hygiene.
Right. So you'll want to focus on those codes first. Everything's 80-20. So 20% of your codes are going to make up 80% of your billing, right? So focus on the ones where the majority of your work and your reimbursement of your billing comes from. Those will be the ones to focus on initially. Okay, so that hopefully will give you an idea of how to use the fee analysis report so that you can motor through that and then update your fees accordingly.
And can I add one more thing?
Please.
And when you complete all of the technical work, what Steve and I just walked you through, and you have your highlights, then sit down with your doctor and your executive team and talk about where you are and where you want to be. So complete the task first, then schedule a quick little powwow with the doctor and your executive team so you can talk about where you want to be within your practice.
Perfect. Let's talk about resources. Moving forward, here are three things that we recommend that you do at the beginning of every year. One is make sure you update your coding knowledge, right? So we just had a webinar, Crown Council webinar on updated codes for the year. You want to make sure and watch that. It's at crowncouncil.org in the training and webinar section. Make sure you update your fees like we've just explained. And then the third recommendation is this, that you do a practice growth analysis. What that consists of is taking a look at your data and all the opportunities for practice expansion and growth. That is something that we do on a regular basis at Total Patient Service. If you would like a complimentary practice growth analysis, which we recommend, here's all you need to do is just email us at answers@totalpatientservice.com with the name of the primary contact in your office that has access to your server information, because we're going to download an app that'll help connect the data so we can take a look at data. We need to know your practice management software and version. So for example, Dentrix G7. The three practice management softwares we can work with are Dentrix, EagleSoft, and Open Dental. So if you have one of those three, then we just need to know the version and then the cell phone number of the primary contact person. So we'll initially send you instructions to download an app. We'll access the data. And then what we'll do is we'll go through, do the analysis, we'll send that back to you so that you have a clear picture of some areas where you can focus to have a great year ahead. So thanks for letting us explain all this. We hope it's helpful. Any questions, feel free to email us, answers@totalpatientservice.com. You can also go to the website, totalpatientservice.com. We have a live chat function there where we can talk back and forth if that helps, or you can always call us at 877-399-8677. Thanks for joining us. Good luck.
And Happy New Year.